Hello, hello. Welcome to the week ahead, everybody. This is for the week of December 6th. I am Dallisa Hawking. I am the CEO, founder of Spirit and Spark. I do all kinds of psychic mediumship stuff. My real bread and butter, what I love to do with clients is help them through big, deep transformations. And this week, I think it's going to open a big door for you to go forward in what you want to do. I'll be joined by Yelena Crawford, the astrologer, here in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to give you my overview of what I feel is coming for the week ahead. And then, of course, we'll end the broadcast with our Card of Destiny card pull to see what in the cards is coming for us this week. So are you ready? Comment and let me know. Say yes. Yes, I'm ready. Here we go. All right. In the comments, let me know, are you ready for this week ahead? And also, you could let me know, how did the eclipse treat you? We just went through eclipse season. We had another big hit of it over the weekend. So how are you feeling? How you doing? I'm going to share a couple of updates, my overview for the week ahead, and then I'll bring Yelena on and we will dig right into what you can expect to feel. Okay. So over on spiritandspark.com, I've got, I think, spiritandspark.com scrolling on the bottom there. If you go there and you click on classes, yes, I do. I'm so glad I remembered to do that. Go click on classes. And because you're watching this, you have the heads up. Ashley has opened up her free class passes for her Reiki and Moonlight meditation this month. Christina has something that she's giving you that's complimentary over there. And then I have opened an interest list for a masterpiece class that I will be teaching, a workshop that I'll be leading in early January. So head on over there. That's where you're going to find some goodies this week. And starting next week and the next few weeks after that, it'll be taking a deeper dive into 2022. What can we expect? What are the highlights? What's going to be happening? I will be hosting a 2022 virtual panel that will be on January 13th at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Put it on your calendar now. It's going to be myself and a few other people talking about our predictions for 2022 in a variety of different aspects, and live Q&A so you can get a deeper dive into what to expect for the year ahead. So mark your calendar for January 13th in the evening. More to come on that. Spark Plug members, you will get one free ticket so you can come and join our panel event. So thank you to all of our Spark Plug members. And oh yeah, Spark Plug members, don't forget your guided meditation with me. If you want to join that live, it's going to be this Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. So make sure you check your member email so you can access that and invite your friends and your family to register along with you. Okay, so here's what I'm getting for the energy for the week ahead. Secrets and a lack of clarity. Something that came through pretty vividly this morning as I was getting my notes prepared was, don't tell people your secrets this week if there's something you really want to keep to yourself as you're maybe massaging something out in your life. Expect that secrets may be revealed if you do share it with somebody. Yeah, they showed this to me, and I mentioned it in the Spark Plug video earlier this morning, is if you're sending an email to somebody, whatever you're sending in the email, whatever you're saying in the text, just say it with the maybe perhaps thought that it could be seen by the person you're talking about. So don't be going off the rails this week. It could feel a bit confusing, so proceed with caution. Another way they showed this to me was like Oprah, right? You know, that famous iconic show episode where you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. They showed me that scene and then they said, who's got a secret? You've got a secret? You've got a secret? It's like, oh no. So we can expect some truth being revealed this week. Wednesday, midweek, I was feeling really connected to taking action, going towards your dreams, and big momentum. So circle Wednesday on your calendar for this week as like a really good project day. I think you'd get a lot done on Wednesday. So that should be a really positive day for you. When I looked at towards the end of the week, So weekend energy, it was feeling pretty heavy around like power and control dynamics and relationships. Also a feeling that we would see some perhaps world leaders getting confused or not thinking quite clearly. So the weekend could feel intense and serious. So my question to you as you think about what plans do you have for the weekend, right? I know we're on Monday right now live, but as you think about Saturday and Sunday, what could be something fun that you can incorporate in? Or what's your playlist? Over on Instagram at Spirit and Spark, I asked people the other day, what songs do you like to listen to help uplift your mood? And you're welcome to go over to our Instagram page and post your favorite songs on the playlist question. But relax and have fun. This is not meant to keep you in a stressed out state of mind. So just decide what you're going to do for fun right now and put it on your calendar. A couple more things I want to mention before I bring Yelena on to talk about the astrology. I was looking through notes. Lee Harris, if you don't know Lee Harris and you haven't been to his website, leeharrisenergy.com, Lee, and then leeharrisenergy.com. He puts out a monthly energy recap video of what he sees and channels for the month ahead. I've been with him in person through workshops. He's incredible. There are a couple things that he brought to the surface that I thought was really good to talk about for the week ahead. Fire, there's a rise in fire energy. So the questions I would like to ask you about that is, how are you using your fire and your passion for good? And what are healthy outlets that you have instead of going into a state of numbing? I do feel a lot of energy this month around, even more so than normal, around drinking, alcohol, recreational activities that may not be perceived as healthy. So what could you do to help process the energies of this month that are healthy and good for you? He goes on to talk about like a reflection of our roots and where we came from. And you may even be feeling called or nudged at this time to clear any kind of ancestral roots or anything that happened generations past. He goes on to talk about the cutting of ties, sharp turns, and abrupt endings, and then connecting with your heart more deeply. If you go to leeharrisenergy.com, you'll find his December energy update, or you can find it on YouTube, but I highly recommend that if you're not watching his videos on a regular basis. Astrology Hub, I loved this. I was looking through what they said for the week ahead, and they said it's a perfect week to be highly motivated. So it's a great week for if you want to do run a marathon, like start that training. If you want to launch a business, it's a great week to start putting positive actions towards business projects and also creative projects. This week is really good for reshaping anything as long as you have the will to do so. Remember, you could sit there, right? If you're like a single lady at home and you're like, man, I really wish I had a boyfriend, and you're sitting at home, like, are you going out and doing anything about it? Or are you waiting for the pizza delivery man to knock on the door? Like, that's how I'm reading this week, okay? And then one last thing I'll add in, Glynis, who is a numerologist, I was reading through some of her stuff, and she said December is a 12-3 month. She said it's not a month to give up. You can accomplish a lot. You need to celebrate all of the good things that are happening in your life and make the most out of this month. Okay? So those are all of the things that I'm feeling. And remember, in the coming weeks, we're going to take the deeper dive into 2022 as a whole. So kind of take these lessons, these words of wisdom and inspiration, and pull them through December, and then you'll be getting all kinds of dish on 2022. But we don't want to jump too far ahead of ourselves. I'm bringing Yelena on, and Yelena's going to tell us what's coming up now, so we can stay more grounded and present. So Yelena, thanks for being a part of today's show.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here again. Hi, everybody. I'm really excited to kind of confirm a lot of your thoughts, per usual. I took some notes here, and I do want to concur that I love Lee Harris as well. And I just actually watched the same December energy update the other day.
He's so great. I love him. I was supposed to. What's that?
He's so sweet. I love him so much.
I know he is. I was supposed to go to his retreat in Costa Rica that was supposed to happen in October, and it got canceled because of everything that was going on with travel restrictions and the variants and all that jazz. So one of these days I'll get back to another one of his workshops, but he's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I think it's goals for me to be able to meet him someday too. That would be awesome.
He's just like he is on the videos.
He's like as sweet as pie. He seems like such a sweetheart for sure.
And so he started in music a long time ago, and he puts out these like channeled music compilation things. He's incredible. But when I was at a workshop with him in LA, oh gosh, probably 4 years ago, we had our eyes closed and I was laying on the floor and we were meditating, and I hear this like crystalline voice, right? I swear to you, I thought it was a recording. And we come out of the meditation. I was like flying all around the room during the meditation. I come out of it and I realized that he's sitting in front of a microphone. And I said, did you just sing all of that? But he's that like incredible of a musician and a singer. It was like next level. But anyway, we could talk about Lee Harris all day.
Yeah, I followed his channelings for a really long time, like back when he was super young too. So
wow.
Yeah. He's cool. He's cool. Anyways, okay.
Yes. Okay, so what's going on with the energy?
Okay, so I want to talk about like a couple of the points you made about Lee Harris, but I'm going to say that later because I want to go in order of not to confuse anyone and bounce around. So basically, I want to cover for you guys a little time frame between the period of December 6th, which is today, all the way through December 15th. And I want to say that this is highly energized energy. And if I'm going to have to pick like a word, I'm going to say edgy for this whole time period. And edgy can go one way or the other. It can be like a good thing, or it can give us the edge we need to push things forward, but it can also be kind of challenging for certain people too. And of course, all of our birth charts are completely different and these energies hit us in different ways. So if you're not feeling this energy, maybe just look in your immediate environment and you'll probably see some of these dynamics playing out around you guys. So I do want to make you aware of that too. These energies aren't going to always hit everybody the same way. And I was just telling Dallisa that I work in a fine dining restaurant, and this is how I learn astrology. I study, I go into the restaurant, and I see it all playing out around me, right? And sometimes it gets me and I get hit by it too. But anyways, so we are first and foremost in the eclipse aftermath. This doesn't mean that eclipse season, technically it's over, but the energies obviously are still kind of playing out. And with eclipses, that storyline will be playing out over the course of the next 6 months until we have eclipse season hit again. So basically, that was the final eclipse in the 18-month Sagittarius Gemini cycle. So we are finishing off this storyline. We won't get hit in these areas eclipse-wise for another 9 years, you guys. So this is a big deal. Now, we will have an activation of this eclipse point. So I want you guys to take note, because whatever these Sagittarius eclipses were helping you to release, let go of, or step away from, Mars is going to be hitting the South Node, which the South Node is part of the eclipse, right? And it's going to, since it's Mars, it's going to be helping to push things forward, or for some of us, cutting, severing, and separating ties with things from our past. Mars will be activating that exact point on December 15th. So write that in your calendar. And I think that kind of really fits in with Lee saying abrupt endings and cutting of ties. You might see people just like suddenly deciding to end things or move away from things. They've had it. End of story. Here we go. We're going to end it this day. So it's like that memorable. I cannot talk.
Memorable.
It would not come out for me. Memorable date and time, right around that area. So,
December 15th. Oh, yeah, I'll put that in the chat, in the live chat too.
Okay. Cool. And then do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay, great. So before this, December 15th timeframe occurs, obviously that's at the end of the forecast I'm giving you guys right now. So we got to build up to that now. So basically, first and foremost, I would say tomorrow, this energy is obviously building right now. I'm feeling it today. I can tell Dallisa's feeling it today. It's going to really hit exact tomorrow and the 8th. Okay. So 7th and 8th, Tuesday and Wednesday. And then it'll slowly start to dissipate, but we have Mars, which is the planet of action and motivation, willpower, drive. It's going to be squaring the planet Jupiter. So this can be a mixed bag of challenge with also a lot of energy, a lot of motivation, optimism, but we do want to watch out. we want to temper ourselves with this energy because it can make us very overly optimistic about certain things. We might feel so energetic during this time frame and like driven that we want to over dedicate ourselves to things. We want to say yes to everything. We want to do, and not realizing that we are overextending ourselves and kind of putting ourselves out there a little bit too much. So try to temper the energy. Yes, focus, get things done. That Mars in Scorpio is very focused, driven energy on certain projects. Just don't overextend. Also, you may be seeing an overexertion of ego, and people be having a little bit too much self-confidence, or maybe people getting in arguments and just different frustrating dynamics around you. Be careful. It'd be easy to get agitated and maybe say the wrong thing to a certain someone, or you might see people making impulsive decisions and acting upon things a little bit too quickly out of maybe over optimism or having a little bit too much faith in something that they are not seeing clearly. Why are they not seeing clearly? Well, in tandem with this transit, we also have Mercury, the planet of the mind, information, communication, the way we process things, cerebral, in a cerebral sense, think intellect. It's squaring Neptune. Neptune is imagination. So we've got this challenge between the intellectual mind and our imagination, daydreaming, perceiving things that are, a little bit more not of this world. So we're not necessarily seeing things clearly. We could be receiving information, but not all of the information. It's like you have a contract, right? And you skip through and read just a little bit, but you're missing certain points that are very important in the contract that you're going to want to know later on down the road. So just know that this week, if you can avoid committing yourself to things that are very important, launching big projects or doing anything like that, this is going to be a good time to avoid it. An image I was getting of this Mars-Jupiter energy as well is of this like bodybuilder, and everybody in the gym's encouraging him, like, pick up the big weight, and he thinks he's strong. He thinks he's big enough to do it. And he picks it up and he falls backwards and drops it because he isn't that strong. So just, these things to watch out for. And I think we can all kind of relate that to our own personal experiences, right? But I'll stop for a minute.
Yeah, I'm going to put this up on the screen. I think you just talked about it.
Yes.
How does the Neptune direct, how is it affecting things right now? So I wrote down challenge between the mind and imagination in the comments. Is there anything else you want to add to the Neptune direct stuff?
Okay, so I am not a mundane astrologer, even though I'm super, super interested in it, and I probably would study that later on down the road. But Neptune in general, it dissolves things, and when it's connected to mercurial energy, like the mind and information and communication, it can dissolve our normal thought processes and make us not be able to make decisions in a clear way, especially with this over optimism, having faith in certain narratives that are going on, in the mainstream, or it can just make you not see things clearly. So that could affect our world leaders and everything too. Like you were saying earlier, I really liked that. We might have world leaders making decisions and things right now that are not well thought out, or they're not looking at the bigger picture, because we've got Mercury in Sagittarius, which is the bigger picture, long range ideals and goals and things like that. So we might be a little too overly optimistic or in a dream state or something like that. So I hope that answered the question.
Yes, and here's another one. Does the Earth ever go retrograde?
The Earth does not retrograde, no. It's and neither do luminaries, the sun or the moon. It's just every other planet. I think she said Neptune retrograde as well. Now that Neptune is direct, sometimes when Neptune is retrograde, it can really make us confused. It's more of an internal energy where we're maybe like over idealizing certain situations, not seeing them for what they truly are. And this could totally, now that Neptune is moving direct and gaining momentum in the months to come, it could be pulling us out of confusion, and there could be this disillusionment that comes with that. So maybe we thought something was a certain way. And I think this is going to have a lot to do with people's belief systems about the world right now. Like it could have a lot to do with this connection to Mercury. People, their paradigms that they're existing in are changing. Like their sense of like belief and religion and all of this dogma that a lot of people once believed in, they're seeing that it isn't what it is. It isn't what we thought it was, right? And it can be really challenging. So that's like dissolving these belief systems and these ways of perceiving things.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, what else is coming up for us? I wrote down December 15th. We've talked about, what's coming up tomorrow and Wednesday. What else is in the week ahead?
Okay, so now we're going to move into maybe later in the week as we move and build up towards Saturday. So I really do like the energy of Saturday. First and foremost, we've got Mercury, the planet of the mind, communication, thought, everything like that. It's in a sextile, and a sextile is a very harmonious connection with the planet of Jupiter. Jupiter is the great benefic. So when Mercury and Jupiter connect, this is really social energy. If you want it to be, that is. If you are going to go out and engage with it. It's not just going to, like, people aren't going to come show up at your doorstep or anything, but this would be a good
pizza men?
Right? No, probably not. No. But this would be like a really good day to go out with your friends or connect with people you haven't talked to in a really long time. This is a good learning energy as well. So if you are doing some type of course of study, it's a good day to maybe engage with that, take in new information, expand your mind, create content. You might have like really great ideas this day. So keep your journal handy. I really like that. Also, it might help being a little bit more hyper aware of things, because this day as well, Venus, the planet of love and relationships and our money, which is always very important in this earthly realm. Venus is going to be coming into the first conjunction with Pluto, and Venus is about to retrograde. So this is going to be something you guys will be talking hopefully next week about in your forecast. But Venus is all about, in Capricorn with Pluto, it's all about power dynamics within relationships with other people. And it's also about like what we want truly for the long term, because this Pluto energy, it gets us going very deep, and it makes us think about, okay, well, what is it that I really want in relationships with other people? It gets you really thinking and kind of like digging into that topic. Like maybe some of these relationships I've been having are really surface, shallow, they're not gonna help me in the long term. So these are all things that you might start to be questioning, or certain circumstances over the weekend, maybe when you're out being social, might make you see that these relationships aren't really what you want, or maybe shows you what you need to change in certain ways. Or it might even show you something about your money, right? And how you're handling your money and your finances. And maybe you're not taking that serious enough, and you need to start making plans to save, and having a better relationship with money and things like that. So those are just a couple brief ways that I see that happening over the weekend. Do you have anything you want to say about that?
I'm typing all the notes in.
Okay, cool.
People can, that way they can just see a summary of what's coming up. So I think that will be helpful. Cool. We do have a question that's in here though.
Yeah.
And whatever you feel comfortable saying, I don't want the video to get flagged, so I put it up on the screen.
Okay.
So if you have any insight on any astrological aspects that you see that might, how do I want to put this? Calm down the waves of bugs.
Okay. Yeah. So one thing, I would say Jupiter in Pisces is going to bring a lot of optimism, and it's going to bring like a big faith, a restoration of faith back in. It's going to bring a lot of gifts in that Pisces area of all of our charts. Now, one thing that's a little bit more challenging of this dynamic is that Jupiter's been sitting with Saturn, and Saturn's limitation, restriction, hardship, delays, and Saturn is in Aquarius, and Aquarius represents the collective. It represents the greater and larger groups of people, our communities and everything like that. So Saturn is what's been bringing these restrictions and these delays and these challenges. But what's nice is that Jupiter has been hanging out with Saturn. So Jupiter has been kind of like padding it and making it less intense than it could potentially have been. And while at the same time, Jupiter couldn't really bring us a lot of gifts while in Aquarius, because Saturn's been saying no to Jupiter. So Jupiter will move into Pisces, and it will help us in another area of life, right? While Saturn is left to his own devices in Aquarius. So it's a little bit interesting to see that dynamic at play. I guess we'll have to see how it plays out, but unfortunately Saturn or Jupiter won't be there to help out with the Saturn delays on the collective. So I'm not saying, I don't believe that the restrictions are going to completely leave per se. I do think that even with like travel, now that the South Node's going to move out of Sagittarius, which has brought all these travel restrictions and everything, I think that it's a lot of things are going to open up. But as we can see, it's making it very difficult for people to do certain things because there are other restrictions and limitations being put in place. So it's like, yeah, you can do these things, but you got to do this, right? So, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that. But I also think we're going to see a lot of the people fighting back.
Yeah,
so
the revolution.
Exactly. Yeah, because we have the US Pluto return hit in February. So it's going to be like a revolution, just like you said.
Yep.
Years, energy this year. So
yeah, 2022 feels very different than 2021 and what 2020 was. I can't believe it's almost the end of the year. Yeah, we'll be doing the panel event that I mentioned for January 13th. That'll be taking a look at different people's perspectives and predictions for 2022. And then I have planned for February another virtual panel that we're going to do that is for the Pluto return and like what that means. And so, yeah, my hope is that every month that there's a different panel event that we're offering. And as I also mentioned in the beginning, Spark Plug members, you will get a free ticket to those. So if you're not a Spark Plug member, make sure you go to the website and sign up for the Spark Plug. Okay, what else do you have on your list? Is there anything else you want to share?
Yeah, for sure. And just to let everybody know too, I just wrote a couple of dates here, like just to let you guys know. This Venus retrograde, it's going to be beginning. Actually, we're in the shadow right now. So this is when events start to set themselves up. That will be playing out over the Venus retrograde. That retrograde will actually be taking place December 19th all the way through January 29th. So it's coming. Just be aware of that. It's always nice to know dates. But then we move into Sunday, and Sunday kind of holds with it a very different energy. So it's like maybe some people go out, they have fun, and they socialize on Saturday, and then Sunday's like, because the sun is going to be squaring Neptune, and the sun is our vitality. It's our health. It's our sense of purpose, our self-confidence. And like I said, Neptune dissolves and it dissipates those things. It can literally zap our energy. It can zap our health. So for certain people, I wouldn't be surprised if people, and I hate to say this and like put this out there, but I'm just being honest, if people get sick or if they start feeling low in immune health, their immunity starts to maybe take a hit a little bit. So if you can amp up all those holistic measures that you have, take the elderberry, do all the good things over the weekend, make sure you take care of yourself. Try not to escape too much, even though you feel really, really social. Stay away from alcohol. So stay away from drugs of any sort, because Neptunian energy is like very sensitive to those types of things. I would be really, really careful with that. Sometimes with Neptune and the sun combined, more so Neptune and the moon, but I'm going to mention it just in case. We might feel like we're taking on the energy of other people. It can make us feel much more sensitive too. Watch out for that. If you feel on Sunday for some reason like you're confused about your purpose or meaning of life or anything like that, just know that this energy will pass. The sun moves quickly. It's like a degree a day. So it will pass quickly. So also on Monday, the 13th, we have Mars finally moving into Sagittarius. So this is right before what I mentioned at the very beginning, Mars hitting that eclipse point, which is the manifestation point. So we're starting to build towards that now. When Mars moves signs, that's a big deal, you guys. Mars is our energy. It's our willpower. It's our drive and our ambition to like get things done. So it's very important. It's going to be in a fire sign. So here again, I wanted to bring up what Lee Harris said, that fire energy is rising on the planet. And it is. We've got Mars in the fire energy. And we're going to be feeling it with all of these dynamics going on. So basically, Sagittarius is an energy that desires freedom. It likes expanding. It doesn't want to be held down and restricted in any way, shape, or form. Like I always say in relationships, Sagittarians, they will commit to you, but you have to respect their boundaries and their need for freedom and like to go do their own thing. And if you, the minute you start restricting that, the minute they are not going to be committed to you. So that's the way I feel with this energy is like, we want movement, we want change, we want adventure. And if you are waiting for something to like move forward, I'm going to give myself as an example. I'm going to be moving to Florida in 2 months and I'm stuck in this winter snow in Michigan. And I am going to be feeling this big time. I know it because we're going to want to break free. But yet there's still that Saturn Uranus square of restriction we're building up towards this month. So we could get really restless around this time frame. So as long as you guys are aware of this, channel your energy in a fire way. It, like Dallisa and I were just talking about, she's going to be doing Pilates, and like I'm thinking about doing the same thing so we can get our energy moving and try to push through this restlessness that we might experience. One other thing is that this energy is going to be really good to work towards our ideals, our long-term goals, our ambitions. It's Sagittarius energy, which is all about long-range plans for the future. So this is a really good time to start planning and kind of moving things and putting things in motion. So I'll be packing my boxes. That's a good thing to start, I guess.
I hate moving.
I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it.
Yeah,
sure.
I will be having a big sale before I move all this stuff again.
I've already been selling things on Facebook, and so I've been doing the same thing.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you want to bring up? I've been putting all the notes in here. We did have somebody, Jamie, ask a question. I don't know how to answer this, but will people with Pisces, Saturn, does it feel more like blessings or restrictions? And I know that's more specific to Jamie, but is there anything you want to say about like natal birth charts? I know you do astrology readings and you can look at somebody's natal birth chart to see if this aspect is there or if it's highlighted and what that would be.
Yeah. So when a planet transits a natal planet, like when a transiting planet hits your chart, one of your natal planets, basically the energy of that planet is going to be touching your natal planet. So basically it will be Jupiter conjuncting Saturn, could potentially be expanding upon your discipline, your focus, your ability to work hard towards something, which could be a really good thing, right? So it'd be better off than Saturn transiting and hitting your Jupiter, because Jupiter wants to bring gifts and expansion and faith and optimism. And it helps us to really like shape our belief systems and our own personal philosophies. It can bring like spiritual development in the sign of Pisces. So this can really solidify your own personal belief systems in the way that you see the world, where if Saturn was hitting your Jupiter, it might delay that, or it might bring a confusion or a lack of clarity as it pertains to what you believe and what you see. And it might not be, you might not be able to feel expansive, and it could be very contractive. So this will be really nice, I would say, for you, but I can't see your whole chart. So it could also, you're going to be going through your Saturn return once Saturn hits Pisces. So this is going to be a big time period for you to grow and develop for sure.
Oh, Saturn return. So much fun.
Oh, yeah.
So much fun. Yeah.
That was a good question.
What's that?
I said the Saturn return changed my whole life though. So even though I hated it, it was great in hindsight.
Yes. Yeah.
I guess I have one more thing I could add that I forgot.
Sure.
Just very quickly. So one thing I do like about this Mars entering Sagittarius is that, you know, we're going to be really driven to work towards our goals for the future. Sagittarius energy really does like change. It's very changeable kind of energy. So one thing about that is like maybe we could get a little bit too impulsive about wanting to make these changes. However, the same day that Mars enters Sagittarius, we also have Mercury shifting and entering Capricorn. So I think this is going to be really, really supportive for us because yes, we're going to feel that energy to want to move things forward. However, the mind, Mercury, where the mental processes are going to be, is in a much more pragmatic place. So Capricorn energy of the mind is great because it's very disciplined and focused, and it's all about methodically putting things into motion step by step. It doesn't care how long it takes. So it's going to help us move forward on our goals, but have the mindset to wait and not be having to need instant gratification all of the time. So I like that energy as well for next week.
That's awesome. You gave us a lot of good pointers.
Yeah.
The viewers in the comments, I've been putting some of the highlights and notes so you can jot those down on your calendar for the week ahead. So I hope that's helpful. I put your Instagram and Facebook in the banner below, Yelena Crawford Astrology. Do you want to tell people where else they can find you?
Yeah, I am on YouTube as well. So I do my own lives and my own forecasting and everything like that over on YouTube at Yelena Crawford Astrology. And I post readings and different things, different graphics I make myself over on Instagram, Yelena Crawford Astrology. If you are interested in getting a reading or talking to me further about astrology, you can find me on my website at yelenacrawford.com.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, and I should say, if there's people new this week, which I think there are some new names, make sure you hit the subscribe button on Spirit and Spark TV too. We'd appreciate it. Yelena Crawford, you're delightful as always. Thanks for coming on and sharing your wisdom with us. And anybody looking for astrological reading, or you want to take a look at where some of these aspects are going to hit you or affect you directly, check out Yelena Crawford Astrology. So thanks, Yelena.
Yeah, thank you, Dallisa. Always so nice to talk to you.
Yeah, we'll talk to you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're going to do our card of destiny. Let's go ahead and do that. Also in the comments, I'm going to drop in the link for the Spark Plug. I know so many of you are already Spark Plug members, but I'm going to go ahead and drop that in. So if you want the free ticket, the registration for our upcoming virtual panel events on 2022 predictions and America's Pluto return, as a Spark Plug member, you will get your one free ticket. So go and register. I've added a monthly option, which has always been there, or an annual option if you want to get in on that. Okay, let's see what our card of destiny is for this week. And it's just shimmying out of the deck. So we're going to take this one. The 10 of Hearts is what we have. And let me go ahead and read this to you. The 10 of Hearts represents the gathering of love and people. And this could be a time when people are drawn to you to express their gratitude for your being. Great good fortune comes through others with this card and its influences. People want to recognize you, so be sure to position yourself to receive. Take a stand to lead with love and idealism, and this will be in your favor. Any changes with work or career or the direction of projects is favored and will put you on the perfect path. If you have something you want to share with people, this could be a sign that it's time to do that. Anything put into motion can expand with great good fortune. Share your vision with those who care and see what happens. This is a time to be social and say yes to invitations. I pretty much think that sums up everything that we talked about on today's video. So it's awesome. It's beautiful. Yeah, Jamie, I don't know if the 10 of Cups is the 10 of Hearts. It probably is, because Cups is emotion. So yeah, beautiful synchronicity there. And yeah, say yes to being social and yes to invitations, but make sure when you wake up after doing that all day Saturday, you wake up on Sunday, make sure you're taking your care of yourself, because Sunday felt a little bit like a hangover energy, whatever that means to you. Okay. So beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me on today's broadcast. Make sure you have subscribed to the Spirit and Spark channel here on YouTube. Go join the Spark Plug for access to different gifts and opportunities to connect. And we will see you again soon.